Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation, and it's special.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. Delighted, as always, to be joined by the quiet man, probably going to change his name now to the Madman. The reason why I'm calling you the Madman, mate, you've decided to do an exhibition bout with Thor Björnsson. For anyone that doesn't know who he is, he's one of the world's strongest men, 6'8", 300 and 400 pounds or whatever the heck he is. What made you do it?
I don't know, mate. Johnny, don't know. I don't know. I think it sort of escalated. I think initially it started off as potentially, you see all this YouTube fighting, like all these YouTubers and stuff fighting. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of it. So then I thought, flip, am I falling in that same boat? But I'm not, because your man's a professional athlete in his own sport. He's the world's strongest man. You know, he holds a record for, you know, deadlifting. I think it's like 505 kilograms off the ground or something ridiculous.
That's crazy.
I've
got him up here in it was this year in May. He deadlifted a record-setting 501 kilograms, of 1,105 pounds.
That's scary, mate.
And you're gonna box him?
I don't really. No. I think initially it started off with MTK. Listen, in a way, I'm sort of glad for it. What an experience to be getting in the ring with a man like that. You know, he's a big lump of lad, huge, and but yeah, he's going to fight. He's going to fight your man Eddie Hall. I think next year sometime, and he wanted to get a feel of what it's like to be getting in the ring, almost like do you remember in the amateur days you used to do these test matches? It seemed to almost be like a test match. But it was meant to be just a bit of sparring, helping him get ready, try and teach him a wee bit. There was no fight on the horizon here for me. I'm hearing whispers of things now, but there was no fight on the horizon at the time. So it was an opportunity for me to have a reason to be in the gym and a bit of exposure. And it was meant to be, as I say, like a bit of a training camp, and then it just escalated, and I'm doing an exhibition with him.
We have seen him fight before because he played the Mountain on Game of Thrones, and he was quite vicious on that. He was biting people's faces off and stuff. You're not hoping he does that in the ring with you, are you?
No, hopefully not, mate. And whenever I got the phone call and says here, the Mountain wants to meet you, I says, who the hell's the Mountain? I don't watch the Game of Thrones, like. And I went down to the hotel to meet him, just me and him. He's a dead on big lad, but he came walking out of the lift, and he actually walks out of the lift sideways because he was that wide. I'm not even joking.
No, I've seen him. I've not seen him in person like you, but I've seen him. He's a big lump, big lump. The thing is, this is gonna be the first time it's gonna make you look like you're a flyweight in terms of the way you move. I mean, you're gonna be fast on your feet compared to him, and the fast hands, man. You're gonna look like a flyweight in there.
Better be fast on my feet, tell you that now.
I mean, go break down the rules for me then. I know it's an exhibition, but what size are the gloves? Is it head guards, and what's the sort of rules behind it? Do you know any?
I don't know too much. I think we're sort of probably in my head probably going to be about 16, maybe 14-ounce gloves. As far as I know, it'll be no headgear. It'll be shorts, no vest. Just like a fight, as far as I know. I think it's maybe going to be 4 3-minute rounds or whatever. I'm not 100% on that, but I don't know too much about it, which is even scarier, to be honest.
It's next month, mate. It's like only a month away. What was it? 19th of January?
16th of January. I think a month away. Aye.
Yeah, a month away. So, I know, like you had to cut weight to make like heavyweight, and you're now a cruiserweight, so you don't have to cut weight as much. So, what are you hoping? Are you just going to go in there like the biggest you've ever boxed, like 220 pounds or whatever it is, and just trying to match him?
I haven't thought that far yet, mate. See, to be honest, even when it came up, you know, opportunities are hard to come by these days, especially the whole COVID thing. Talked to management first. It was MTK that got it all sorted, and talked to them to see it wasn't going to clash with anything, and it wasn't. I was doing a bit of work at the time on the building sites and bits and bobs, trying to keep taking over. So for me, it's a hell of a lot better than be on the building sites every day, mate. I'm working, you know, gets me a couple of pounds, keeps me training full time, gets me a bit of exposure. Like, it's flipping massive. Like, your man's apparently he's like a big superstar. Like, everyone seems to know him.
And you don't.
And I don't know, mate. I don't know anyone. Let's be honest. I don't know anyone.
That's why you're called the quiet man. Like, you just do your own little thing, man. You know what I mean? You don't care what you don't mess with nobody's life. You're not interested in that. You know what I mean? It's just you and your little bubble, which is good in a sense.
Yeah, I like my little bubble. You always give me grief for not calling anyone out on interviews, but I just
like when I was getting you to call people out, not once would I ever think, you know what, I'm gonna do an interview one day with Stevie Ward against the fucking mountain from Game of Thrones.
Get him to call out Hathor or whatever he's called. That's, I mean, his name's actually Hathor, like Thor.
Aye, Thor.
Funny, mate. Listen, I don't even know what way it's going to plan out. You know,
are you going to try? It's an exhibition, mate. But how? What happens if he hits you a good shot and he actually buckles your knees a little bit, makes you wobble, do the little chicken dance, the Bambi on ice type thing, and then you're like, oh shit, I was just toying around for this round. Now I'm going to have to put it on him. But if he hits you with a good shot, are you going to be like, nah, this is my spot, and you're going to crack him back?
Yeah, quite. Well, I think everyone would, like, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? There's pride on it too. I think for me, it's not the risk for me. I don't feel like I'm in that much of a risk, to be honest, getting in there, because he's such a big lad. And he's more agile than you would think. He was in the gym when I see him doing a bit of training. He was a professional basketballer at one point. So he's not bad in his feet, like, but I think it's going to be more for him. It's going to be like waking a sleeping giant, you know, because you're going to hit him, like, and once I hit him,
well, I hope you do.
Yeah, well, hit him, and once you hit him, is he going to flip and then just
try and slam you?
Do you know what I mean? You don't know what way these things are going to go. I've been in the situation for things like this, but he hasn't.
When did you said you met him somewhere and he came through a left and that, and you've seen him doing a little bit. Where did you meet him about? Where was it?
Down in Belfast. He was over doing, I think he's doing another filming. He's doing a new film or something over here in Belfast, and he's over for a couple of days. And there was talk of obviously me doing a bit of training with him, and he wanted to meet me. So I drove down to hotel in Belfast, had a cup of coffee with him. Sort of first time I met him, had a chat. He seemed a dead on fella. And then the day after that, he said he's looking at doing some boxing. So I brought him to a gym up near me. Picked him up in the car, near broke my bloody suspension in the car. You should have seen the thing. It was like something out of Laurel and Hardy. So it was.
Two big bald guys in a car, man. What was that, a Fiat Panda or something? What you have?
He's a hell of a lot bigger than me. Like, no, I thought it was going to be. I thought the car was going to be big enough. It's a Kia Sportage, but he made it look like a bloody mini. So he did.
Well, I was going to say, Stephen, you said that he's a lot bigger than you, but you compared to me, you're a big lad. You're much bigger than me, and I'm only like 5'9", 5'10", or whatever it is. So when I look at you, I'm like, that's a big boy. But how much bigger is the Thor compared to you? Like, are you?
He's probably a bit of a shoulder and a head, like.
Really that big, man? That much bigger?
Do you know what? But that wasn't a thing that took me. That wasn't a thing that took me back by him. Whenever I first met, I hear he's dropped loads of weight. Like he's dropped, like, I would say he's dropped about 50 or 60 kilo.
That's probably nothing to him. That's 50, 60 kilos. Probably nothing to him. That's probably, I don't know, 6 pounds to us.
Aye, well, that's what I was thinking. But the thing that took me by him was, like, his physique. He's still really athletic. You know, he's not just one of these strong men that's like a big fat, like, not fat, but you know what I mean. You see them, like, he's solid. But it was the width, how wide he was. Like, it's like from his back to his chest is looks about 4 meters. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? He's just massive. He's just massive. Like just when you see him, he's a huge fella. Aye, starting to kick myself a wee bit.
Yeah, mate. As long as you're getting paid well for it. The good thing as well, though, Stephen, is you look Icelandic with a bald head and a beard. You're fitting fine.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, because I'm
Stephen Wardenson. That's your name, Stephen Wardenson.
Stephen Wardenson. Just because I'm bald and pale, you call me Icelandic. Flip me. Well, I know. Well, you've been doing a few sunbeds, obviously.
Well, mate, I've had a haircut and a shave because I'm going down London tomorrow, so I've tried to make myself look pretty a little bit, and I've failed miserably, man. No, I actually look all right, to be fair.
Worse, mate. Every time I shave my head, I cut myself and I go right with bloody blood streaming down my head.
Me too, man. That's why I've just shaved it. I've not done the big. I've just got a nice shape on it. I've got to ask, since you're technically now a heavyweight. Let's be honest, you're fighting the biggest heavyweight ever to put on lace up a pair of gloves. That's going to be a sort of like a chaser question. One time, who fought the biggest heavyweight in the world? You'll be on the chase one day. The question, but I've got to ask your thoughts on Joshua versus Pulev at the weekend. Big fight for Joshua, big huge fight. As a fellow heavyweight, I'm going to say that now because you're a heavyweight now. What's your thoughts on that fight?
It's really struggling to look past AJ on this. To be honest, this one, I'm really struggling to look past him. I think he might get a stoppage, sort of within 5. I don't know why. I've got the feeling for it. I think Pulev's passed now, isn't he? You know, years ago, a couple of years ago, maybe would have been a better fight. But yeah, I can't look past Joshua. You know, I'd be putting my house on him, to be honest.
I've got to ask though, Stephen. We've seen Tony Bellew go from light heavyweight to cruiserweight to heavyweight. In boxing, you say never in a lot of scenarios, but will we ever see you up at heavyweight? Because, like I say, you are a big lad yourself. But
yeah,
you'd have a campaign up at heavyweight.
Yeah, I definitely would move it out. Obviously, they only moved up to cruiser, but you know, light heavy was always a real struggle for me, especially near the last sort of year. I was always cruiser, and as you get older, your body changes. You know what I mean? You can't shift the weight as well. So I think for me, it's about doing well at cruiser, and then if an opportunity comes up at the weight above, then do it. It's a Bridger weight now, or that's just WBC.
That's the WBC. Yeah, it's 220 pounds. Yeah, I don't know if I saw you in the rankings though, because WBC released their new Bridger weight rankings. I don't think your name was there. No,
definitely not.
Well, you never know. After this Thor Björnsson fight, you might be number 1.
I don't know how. I just see what was happening. To be honest, I was just worried about it just being like people not taking me serious for it, just being like, "Oh, what's he doing fighting this fella?" But you have to understand that
it's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. You know what I mean? We all know that boxing's a dangerous sport. We've seen it with your fight with Liam Conroy and all that sort of stuff as well. But it is a dangerous sport, so sometimes it's all right to go out and have a little mess around and a little bit of fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
I'm the same as you. The YouTube stuff, even though I'm a YouTuber, man, I wouldn't mind getting in for a fight and get some of that YouTube money. Like,
my money's on you.
I'd fight Jake Paul, Logan Paul right now.
Yeah, I'd put my house on you. Look at you, guns and all, already.
Say, Steve, that's why you're one of my favourites, mate. You really are. You're a top man. Listen, you never know what will happen. Maybe I'll get a wee flight because Scotland isn't that far from Iceland, mate. So,
mate,
I might come across for it. Who knows?
Yeah, but and as you say, you're right. Like boxing is a dangerous sport, and listen, it's an opportunity for me. You know, you get in, keep busy. You know, there'll be a lot of eyes on this. So you could build a bit of a following. You could bring people into boxing that maybe had no interest in the sport. Also, it keeps me training full time, and it's great exposure. So the more I look back on it now, I think, why not?
Why not, mate? Exactly. Life's too short and all that sort of stuff. So, like, I'm all in for you, man. I was quite pleasantly surprised because I got maybe a little tip off that I was getting announced. When I was down at the MTK show, and I was like, "You're joking me? There's no way Big Stevie was fighting the mountain." But yeah, here we are. I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon for you, mate. Like I said, I don't mind. It's only a 2-hour flight from Edinburgh, Reykjavik.
Come
So
over, mate. You can keep my. Listen, we'll get a wee pull up camper bed there. You go. You don't have to sort your digs out.
hey, I'm only a wee guy. I'm quite happy.
I'll pull the bottom drawer out of the cupboard. And there you go. You're sorted.
Mate, that's it. I'll just fetal position it. That's all I need to do. Like,
Oh,
Stevie,
listen,
like I said, I won't keep you much longer, man. I know you're a family man, and that, and your wife and kids are probably out just now, like you said. Are they? Are they there?
Yeah, they're downstairs waiting to go out, so they're probably shouting on me every 5 minutes here.
Right, so I won't keep you much longer, man. Thanks for this Fightful TV. Like, fingers crossed. You never know. I'll ask to see if I can come over to Reykjavik and maybe do a little bit of filming, because it's something different, something good, and I've known you quite well, and I'm looking forward to the fight. Believe it or not, I want to see big Stevie Ward against the bigger mountain. So, good luck with it, mate. And I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, buddy, and thanks for the ring.
Anytime, my man. Thank you.
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation, and it's special.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.